Welcome to the next episode of Hidden Gems. Today we have a very special guest with us, Shruti Jain from the Neon project. Shruti, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. So Shruti, before we get started into the meat of the podcast, a little bit about yourself. How did you get into this space? What excites you about this space? Let's get started there.
Sure. So I started in the space 4 years ago, and I was actually learning about artificial intelligence when I got across this word blockchain. And I read about it casually, and I got really fascinated about this concept. I really got into the concept of decentralization and kept wondering, if it could ever happen that we would actually be a lot independent and we would not be worrying about any of our funds, any of our assets, or any of our decision being based upon a third party. I've been working for industry since 2 years now, and I've worked with many startups around the world, and it's been a great journey till now. So yeah, I'm a tech geek and I love development. And the best thing about Web3 is there's a lot of community-based concepts that people get to experience, people get to explore, that they may not be able to get this much exposure in other forms of industries.
Incredible. Okay, so one quip I have is that the true friends are only made in a bear market. So I'm so glad that we connected during a supposedly bear market, but I think there's no bear market for builders. It's just nonstop. Okay, so let's talk about the Neon project. What attracted you to the Neon project, and how did you make the transition to Neon?
I have always been working on EVM-based chains. I've always developed on EVM-based stack. And when Solana came along and it gained so much attention, it gained so much power, it always intrigued me. So I was always curious, but just couldn't switch to Rust because it was far more, I would say, a low-level language than Solidity is. And I was quite experienced with Solidity by then, and I just didn't want to switch Rust at that time. But when I came across this project, Neon EVM, and it actually quite fascinated me because we can actually have a no change solution for Solidity code over Solana blockchain. And yeah, that let me discover more about this project and finally be able to work with this.
Incredible. Okay, so let's get into Neon a bit. So you've already introduced Neon is an EVM chain for Solana. So let's talk about, why Neon, why EVM on Solana? Are there any trade-offs with making this kind of technology available? Let's maybe start there.
First of all, it's an EVM on Solana, so it's not a separate chain. There's a myth that we are trying to basically promote Solidity over Rust as a language to be coded by smart contracts. But that's not the case, because the aim of Neon EVM is basically to increase adoption of Solana, increase builds, increase dApps, and increase builders on Solana. And building an EVM on Solana is actually a gateway to all the EVM-based dApps who want to transition or who want to add Solana as a blockchain to their dApp. So what our main motive is to make it easier for those dApps to get onboarded to Solana, and don't worry about the whole code change of their complete backend, because it's actually quite high risk. It's quite time taking. It's quite resourceful to switch to a different language, to switch to a completely different framework, and employ many other Rust developers and employ so much resources. What we thought that it's going to be a viable solution for dApps and for those builders who want to build on Solana, want to leverage the advantages that Solana brings as compared to EVM chains, and just experience it through their practical skills, to their skills. And then if they want, they can definitely switch to Rust because it's a low-level language. It's much faster. It's much customizable. So yeah, that's the main aim of Neon EVM.
So from a technical level, is this a sidechain or is it a roll-up? What exactly is happening? Is Neon a single chain, or is it going to be as an app chain kind of scaling system? What exactly is this?
So Neon EVM is not actually a separate network or a separate chain. Neon EVM itself is a smart contract written in Rust on Solana blockchain, and it works through a proxy that is currently written in Python, and we are working on transitioning it to a much faster language, that is Go. Users interact with this proxy and it converts it actually saves the state of the Ethereum-like transactions into Solana-like transactions on the Neon EVM contract. This is how the transition works. So it's not a separate network, but it's just a proxy deployed and an EVM deployed on Solana blockchain.
Interesting. Okay, so the full EVM is basically translated into Solana transactions. It's not
Exactly.
like an off-chain compute system that periodically does a checkpoint. It's literally Solana. There's nothing new. Okay, incredible. That's, I think, a lot more difficult and a lot more challenging to build than just slapping on a sidechain or a EVM and having a rollup, because in the rollup, you just have to put the Merkle tree on Solana, which is quite trivial.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, the main challenge comes with the size of the transaction, because if you look at any Ethereum transaction or any EVM based transactions, it's a lot bigger than a Solana transaction. So if you a user conducts an EVM transaction, it has to be like broken into many simple transactions for Solana, and then its states have to be stored on the Solana blockchain. So that's where the real challenge comes in.
Just totally aside from our conversation here, it's incredible to see how these technologies are getting remixed and recomposed in different pieces. So here you guys are bringing EVM on Solana. I know that there's also SVM, which is the Solana virtual machine on Ethereum-like systems, which is the opposite direction. Yeah. I believe the Eclipse project is trying to attempt something like that. But yeah, it's crazy to see how these things are just so experimental and everyone is trying different approaches, and it's really cool to see.
All of these have different use cases. I mean, if we are building for EVM-based dApps to easily onboard on Solana blockchain, then SVM is basically allows Solana apps to easily onboard to EVM-based chains. So all of these technologies, they are never in vain. And it has a very unique and very persistent use case that actually helps a lot of audience, a lot of builders who may be struggling otherwise to, learn and try out new things. So basically making them an easier way to explore things in the space.
So let's go into Neon itself. What is the current status of Neon? There's a test net, there's a main net, there's going to be multiple main nets. Is it going to be the architecture like Polkadot, where you have the Kusama canary chain versus the main net? What is the overall kind of system that you guys are trying to shepherd?
We have had our DevNet, on which we have onboarded many dApps to test on Neon EVM to conduct their transactions and see if their code works fine and if they would want to make any changes or if they have any problems with that. So we have our DevNet, just like Solana DevNet. Then we have currently a closed beta that is called Shadow Mainnet, which we have employed specifically for our partners to test that they could go without any difficulties with us on Mainnet. And we are working towards the Mainnet, and we are hoping it's soon, probably next week. And yeah, we are quite excited about that.
What kind of applications are you going after? Are you trying to mirror what's happening with the rollups and the sidechains on Ethereum and the L1 chain, so the big DeFi apps like your Aave and Compound, or more like social apps like a Lens protocol? What is the gamut of applications you guys are trying to attract?
So talking about current scenario, we are mainly focusing our notion to DeFi apps. And we are trying to bring in more and more liquidity-based apps, DEXs, and AMMs. And basically, we are currently focused on DeFi apps. But yeah, we are soon planning to make our chain more adaptable to NFT apps and gaming apps as well. Looking at the partners that we have currently, looking at the people that we have currently, we are more focused on DeFi.
Got it. Okay. And it's arguable that only DeFi has product market fit today. The other ones are still trying to find their footing in the space and in their, I guess, retention of users.
I wouldn't deny the fact, but DeFi is definitely a quite popular part of this ecosystem, and it has been it's rapidly growing, and it has a lot of use cases because it has its own branch of finance. But talking about other spaces like NFTs and gaming and DAOs, so these are actually some things that can revolve around DeFi, first of all. And NFTs, I agree, because the chaos, the popularity of NFTs that was before, I think, the bear market, as we call it, it was quite high and people were crazy about NFTs. And I still see many communities, I still see many people who are like consistently engaged within NFTs, but yeah, it's not that much in the trend right now. But definitely it's not going to wipe out. It's not going to end. So I think people are more focusing now on real use cases, because there have been a lot of rug pulls, there have been a lot of scams related to these things, and people have become more cautious, and therefore I think they're choosing wisely, like to what to popularize or what to bring in trend.
Absolutely. I just did some simple analysis on Ethereum just 2 days ago. So what we've done on Covalent is we've crawled all of the assets and the metadata. I think we have over 100 million tokens, if I remember correctly. Just out of my own curiosity, I was just figuring out what types of NFTs are these, right? What is the MIME types? And about 70% of them are PNGs. So they're like face profile pictures kind of things.
Yeah.
And then there's like JPEG and GIFs were the other remaining, I guess, 15%. So that brings up to 85%. The movies were about 4%, which was quite surprising to me. So there's like quite a bit of animations and like MPEG files. And then there's these 3D rendered models and the long tail, but not really like real world assets. Those things haven't shown up yet, at least in any kind of scale. So I think there's still a lot of room to grow. I'm quite excited with NFTs as infrastructure, because anything can be tokenized, and an invoice, accounts receivable, any kind of payable can be invoiced, and that'll be an NFT. So quite exciting, but still a long way to go.
Definitely.
You guys must be having a very clear definition of what is an ICP, like a ideal customer profile. Clearly this is a person who knows Solidity, but what differentiates a regular Solidity developer, and what's attractive to Neon as opposed to deploying it on Ethereum L1 or one of the rollups, or introduce a new app chain? How are you guys differentiating this, and how are you structuring your go-to-market approach?
Neon is focused on getting the advantages of Ethereum and Solana together. So Ethereum is known for its durability, its trustability, and it's easy to learn languages, like one of them is Solidity. And Solana is known for its speed, for its quick transactions, and its potential to be more agnostic towards the different ecosystems of the chains of the space. Neon EVM is basically trying to bring these advantages together so users can leverage both the chains at the same time. I think the ICP, the focus of Neon EVM towards their builders would be towards the learners who are proficient in Ethereum, who knows EVM stack, who knows how Ethereum works and what are the advantages of Ethereum. And then if they see some advantages in Solana and they want to try it out and basically bring in both the advantages, both the chains together to leverage this unique ecosystem of builders. This is the main thing that we are looking at into our builders, because sometimes many critics are there. There are Solana critics, there are Ethereum critics, and there are Neon critics. So we basically want to build a separate ecosystem from Ethereum and Solana. And we want to bring those builders together who want to experiment a thing that will leverage both of these chains. And they would want to build something with Ethereum knowledge over Solana tech stack.
Shruti, your job title is integrations manager. You manage all of the partners and the ecosystem play. And to bootstrap an ecosystem is quite a tough role. I definitely don't envy your role by any means. To get all of these pieces in place, you need an indexer. So, you guys have Covalent support, so that's excellent. But you need a block explorer, you need an Oracle, you need a stable coin, you need bridge assets. You need all of these core pieces. How has it been going so far? What is the momentum that you guys have? Let's maybe talk about that.
Honestly, there have been a lot of ups and downs because we were focused on onboarding a lot of DApps, like as much as we could, and segregating every DApp or every service into these sectors of indexers, block explorers, and DApps and wallets. So yeah, it has been honestly a roller coaster ride, to be honest, especially for integrations team and the business development team, to be specific. We have got Neon Scan and Block Scout as our explorers, and we have the OG Covalent for indexer. And we have got like 2-3 wallets that are ready to go with to go on mainnet with us. And we have got our DEX. We have got some DApps that are in progress. Sometimes it's a technical issue, it's a legal issue, it's agreement issue, it's DApp issue. So it's always been quite ups and downs. And we gained many partners, we lost many partners. But yeah, at the end, I think it's all worth it because we have the best ones stick to us till the end. Yeah, we're just hoping for the best.
Incredible. Great to hear. What has been your experience working with Covalent and the team?
Honestly, talking about few of our partners that our integrations team love to work with, and Covalent is one of them, because being in a client-faced role, being in a client-faced job, it's really difficult to, be always active and be always responsive towards the partners. And it's same for the DApps as well, because we are also kind of partners to them. The Covalent team and some of our DApps, they have been so responsive, and it was so easy to communicate with them to resolve their issues, because we have also worked with DApps who would take 2-3 days or weeks to reply, or it's really difficult to sync like that. But yeah, definitely with Covalent, we never had that problem, and the integration went really smooth. It's a fun team, and we have a fun integrations team as well. Our whole Neon team is really fun. It's been a really great journey with Covalent, and you guys have been for a while with us now. Yeah, I would just like to say thank you for sticking with us. And yeah, looking forward to a really great minute.
Our GTM team would love that testimonial, and I think they'll have words of praise on repeat. This were a cassette tape, it would just be a worn-out cassette tape, because it's really beautiful. So thank you for those kind words. Now, my understanding is that we've been working with the Neon team for almost a year now, and there were some foundational RPC problems, stack problems that we've helped work around. In fact, in times, identify bugs in the RPC implementation. Yeah. So that's how deep that we go with our partners. Because at the end of the day, we believe in this space so much that we always lean in when there's any kind of new nascent system. Like I previously mentioned, it's quite hard to bootstrap an ecosystem. And so, indexes is, we don't want to have an ecosystem not pick up because of an indexer. I'm curious, have you looked at Increment and the actual products that we build as well? So indexer is the core infrastructure, but it unlocks the Increment and so on. And have you given that a shot?
Yeah, definitely. I actually was quite intrigued about this product, and with the product team we were discussing, we found it really, really cool because apart from an API as an indexer, it's really important to present that data that you get from the indexer. And Increment, I think, is a really great tool that would let you with a no-code solution to build your whole dashboard, and you can just get any data that you can customize that could be query-based. It's actually quite interesting, and it's quite helpful for the DApps and for the explorers as well, because every DApp or every application needs analytics for its interface, and Increment makes it much, much easier. We were quite fascinated. We were quite intrigued by this product, and we were just quite excited about using it with our partners, with our explorers. And yeah, it's actually amazing.
Great to hear. Let's talk about the future at Neon. What's coming down the pipe? What would the ecosystem look like 6 months from now, a year from now?
So I believe we are starting slow, and we are definitely going to be onboarding a lot more experienced partners that have been for a while in the space. And partners like Covalent and many others that have stuck for us for a while. It would actually help because we guys are building it from the core. We together are building it from the core. It is going to be incredible if we stick together. Right now as well, we have a great community of builders. We have a great community of followers that are quite serious, that are quite they have put their heart into this product. Current employees, even ex-employees, they have given all their resources, they have given their time, they have put in their hearts into this product, and it will definitely not go in vain. And I believe in this product myself. So yeah, I see a great future with Neon EVM.
Final parting thoughts, Shruti, anything you would like to give a shout out to or tell our joint communities?
First of all, I would like to tell you guys that we are soon planning our mainnet launch. So please keep your eyes on our Twitter, on our socials, and it's going to be epic. And yeah, just keep building, and you can DM me about anything if you have any questions about Neon EVM, and please reach out for any partnership, or if you want to build something on Neon EVM, if you have any questions, technical or product, anything, please reach out to me.
Shruti, thank you so much for your time. I think it was a very interesting look at what Neon, the project is, and what is your go-to-market. And it's a very unique position in the space. So thank you for sharing all those insider stories. I mean, that's the whole point of this pod. Thanks again, and I'll see you around. Take care. Bye.
Sure. You too. Bye.